Hello there. Today we'll talk about the test run / season 0 of the Stronghold Beginners Academy to give you a behind the scenes view as the director of the program, to explain some thoughts about joining the community, and to share some personal experiences. The SBA is a program by Splatoon Stronghold aimed at removing as many barriers from entry into competitive Splatoon as possible. People who want to join comp can apply via a simple Google form, and Stronghold staff will form teams of 5 out of that. Each team has a team manager and coach to act as mentor figures and show the team how comp Splatoon and the community works. Upon other things, we handle scheduling, scrims, and help the team manage themselves after the duration of the program. The teams stay under the SBA for around 5 weeks, though that is relatively flexible. We decide when exactly the team fully launches together with the players. I'd like to go through the production of all of this semi-chronologically. Let's start this off with my personal experience. On March 28th, 2024, I saw a ping in Splatoon Stronghold announcements that they were looking for more staff. I had been thinking of helping out the community by joining an org for a while back then, and when looking through the application form, I saw the outlines of a project that really intrigued me. Back then, under the name of Aiton's team, this was the core idea of what we now know as the SBA. After a few weeks, I was brought onto the Aiton's team, along with a small number of other staff. It was then time to finalize the proposal and start working to implement it. The early production honestly went very smoothly, with all tasks being completed relatively fast for such a small staff team for the scope of the project. I'm very proud of everyone. It honestly might be difficult to find a group of people more committed and willing to put time into helping the community. As I mentioned earlier, at the beginning the name of the project was just internally known as Aiton's team. The name Stronghold Beginners Academy actually came really late. We decided on it maybe a week before sending out the promotion post for the test run. For promotion, we reached out to a few orgs and Discord servers to ask if they would forward or repost our promotion. Thank you to everyone I reached out to for that, y'all were very helpful. The reason we did that was that we wanted to make sure we had enough applicants to run a decent amount of teams. We had 5 staff members who were willing to manage a team back then, so we were looking at maybe 30 applications. I had no clue how many applications to expect, but even with the reposts from other orgs, I didn't think it'd be a number that would exceed 30 by much. Well. "150 applications. That's like 5 times the number I had roughly expected. What the 150 is a crazy number. 150 humans from all around the Earth decided they were interested in this service to get to know competitive Splatoon. Why? In any community, but especially in online communities, one interesting phenomenon that always occurs is participation inequality. A rough abstraction states that of everyone involved in the community, 1% contribute a majority of things, 9% contribute a little, and 90% are so-called lurkers, who contribute very little and mostly observe everything. Personally, I dislike the term lurking, since I feel like it has a negative connotation, while there's nothing wrong with being a lurker. Since it is the scientific term, and for the lack of a better one, I'll keep using it though. This 1990 rule is more of an abstraction, but it gets the point across. In actuality, participation follows Zipf's law. because apparently everything does. Participation can be defined in many different ways in the context of Splatoon, and honestly, it's not that important to have a good definition here. What's interesting is what we can learn from this. I said earlier that there's nothing bad about lurking, and I'd like to expand that it's actually a necessary step in joining a community. There's a certain amount of time you have to spend around, but not in a community, to get to know how it works and learn the community's different places, resources and conventions. Participation inequality now teaches us something really interesting, that there are a lot of people who are currently lurking, who are just learning about the community, or who are waiting for the right moment to do the step of actually joining it. The process of joining the competitive Splatoon community is really difficult. There are a lot of barriers in the way of a new player, and the biggest one by far is the social situation of finding a team. Making a free agent post, searching for teams who are currently looking for a player, going through tryouts, all of that is complicated and can be really scary if you don't have any experience talking to strangers over the internet. In chemistry, reactions need a specific amount of activation energy to take place. We can decrease the required activation energy by adding a catalyst. This concept can also be applied to joining this community. Our job as the community then should be to bring down the required activation energy for joining as much as possible, to find better and better catalysts, so to speak. We've had a lot of programs to do this, and a decent amount of them also minimize the step of finding a team. The whole idea of the Beginners Academy was to reduce the activation energy more than any other program in the community, to be the easiest way to join the community, and this is what led to the high number of signups. Thinking about activation energy a bit more, in my opinion, there are some steps to entry that should always remain. This is mostly to do with figuring out one's goals and motivation to be in the community. I think the questions, why do I even want to play Splatoon competitively? Is this really what I want? And am I willing to put in the required time? Are incredibly important to ask yourself. Depending on what your goals are, this hobby can take up quite a decent amount of time of your life, and it is crucial to be aware of that. This is why we highly value such questions in our application form. We could have actually made it shorter by leaving out some of these questions, but we wanted applicants to reflect on this. I know we are already on a really long tangent, but even if this next point deviates even farther from the original topic, I think it's really important to talk about. Activation energy is also an important topic in psychology, specifically when thinking about behavior. Starting an activity, for example doing homework, is a lot easier mentally if the activation energy for that task is low. As an example, getting out your phone and opening a social media app requires extremely little activation energy, which is why your subconscious brain will default to it a lot to get that juicy dopamine kick. When you want to change your behavior, activation energy is honestly one of the biggest things to look at. Make activities that you want to do easy to start, and put artificial barriers on activities that you want to do less. Okay, back from that tangent, back to a very real problem. We had 150 applicants, but only 5 available team managers and 3 coaches. Luckily, since the program got a lot of attention, we were able to bring on 2 more team managers and a lot more coaches, so we'd at least be able to create 7 teams. Still not a great percentage, and it got especially weird with having 4 EU and 3 NA team managers, but way more NA applications. But we did the best we could do. We had a big meeting where we made the teams. The focus after time zones and age was mostly similar activity and goals. Though we were not perfect, partially because of limitations from the questions we asked in the application form, more on that later, I think we still did a good job overall. For the actual exciting part, running the program went very differently from team to team, and each team had their own issues to overcome. The team I was managing, for example, now Whale Shark Warriors, had one player who stopped responding after the first week. so we eventually had to remove them and continue as a 4-player team. I'm really proud of the remaining players though. They managed to get through everything one player down, without ever missing one of the scheduled practice sessions. I think they really managed to grow together and improve a lot during the program, and I'm confident they'll continue to do good on their own. Not all teams went smoothly. There was another team that we unfortunately had to discontinue due to bad availability from a majority of players. All in all, I think it went very well though. Even if not all teams will continue together, it's genuinely one of the greatest experiences I've had in this community to see a majority of teams motivated to keep grinding in comp. Those teams, those friendships, would likely not exist without this program and all the hard work everyone put into it, and I am very proud of that. To give you another perspective from a different angle, I'm here with Roa.
Hey, my name is Roa. I'm an Irish competitive Splatoon player, and I'm one of the directors for Splatoon Stronghold. I was lucky enough to be a team manager in Season 0 of the SBA, and I had a really great time doing it. So I'm kind of just here to share my experience managing a team and how it went for me, how it went for them, and just generally my thoughts on the scene as a whole right now.
Can you tell us a little about the team you managed?
The team I managed is called Less Than 3. They are very active and play with each other quite regularly, which it's great to see. Their main motivation as a group is kind of just like hang out and be friends, but they definitely have like the drive to improve, you know? They're not just a casual group. They're super organized in their approach to the game, which made them really easy to manage. They're all like really dependable and responded quickly when I needed everything. They made my life easy.
What challenges did you and your team face along the way?
I think there was kind of one main issue with the service as a whole, which was just like the availability of low-level scrims is pretty low right now. I think Div 8 to Div 10 scrims are kind of just like, they're not like unheard of or like unfindable, but they're like gold dust. Like you gotta try to snatch them up. And that definitely led to like some weeks just having less scrims. But I think as it went on, especially, we kind of really found the value of like scrimming between different academy teams and having like internal scrims. I think as time goes on and we like output more teams, it'll become better for both teams in and out of the academy. Just because if we have like 10 teams and they're doing 3 scrims a week, that's 30 scrims for low level that weren't there before. So it just increases the overall availability of scrims at low level. Another thing was like, this is more like a team specific thing instead of like an issue with the academy as a whole. But it was like players felt like because they had seen so much talk about a particular special or a particular weapon, that it was something they needed on a comp to be good or to be like competitively viable. I think kind of changing that mentality and focusing on like, I'd rather play like a mid-tier really well than like a high-tier poorly, and just recognizing like, especially at low level, you can kind of play whatever you want. You can just like play like a weapon that at top tier would be considered unviable, but like we're low levels, we're just chilling, you know, anything can work.
Between all 6 teams that ended up graduating from the program, Less Than 3 was by far the most active one. Why do you think the team clicked so well?
Less Than 3 were kind of just like lightning in a bottle. They really like hit it off from day one of the academy, and every day they were in VC together playing like Splatoon or Mario Kart or Minecraft or whatever. I think like their success and their like any success they have in the future is going to be down to like just how good friends they are and their willingness to like communicate and the sympathy and empathy that they can have for each other, and their ability to understand each other just because they are that good friends. That combined with like their large amount of availability makes like scheduling really easy. They're like really active, which just like doubles down on being able to spend more time with each other and become even better friends. I think like the social aspect of competitive Splatoon is like really overlooked, and like becoming friends is like the biggest like drawing for a lot of people that isn't talked about enough. I think Less Than 3 works just because they're just friends outside of the game and inside of the game, and they're able to really build on that.
How did the players feel about comp before and after the Beginners Academy?
Before the servers, I think they were generally really nervous and wary of the competitive scene. It's something I'm kind of going to talk about more on in a big doc I'm working on that's going to be up on SPLATOON Stronghold. Link in the description when it's out. But the scene gets a pretty bad rap from people who haven't tried comp or aren't like in any way into the competitive scene. I think most people have the idea that comp players are kind of just really big complainers, that the meta isn't great and you're gonna have to switch weapons if the weapon you like isn't meta, but like that's just not true. I think as comp players we kind of need to do a better job of showing off the positive aspects of the game, because there's a lot of doom and gloom on Blue Sky and Twitter about like the state of the game, and I don't think it's productive. I don't think it's the direction we need. I think like we play the game because it's fun, right? Like the game is fun. We need to show that, you know? I think after getting into comp, the players on less than 3, like especially, will just like they'll never look back. Like they have a blast playing together, and it makes me really happy. I think as comp players, a lot of us have the experience of like the first time you play comp, you realize it's like a completely different game than like solo queue. And for me, like solo queue it just feels nowhere near as fun as comp for me. I think they've found a place where they're really like happy together and a place they thrive in, and that's kind of the thing with comp. If you don't have a place that isn't fun or that doesn't feel like home or a place where you don't have friends, it's just not going to be as fun for you. Like I think like I've been talking about it before, but like the social aspect of the game is something that we really need to push, and we really need to like show it off as like, hey, like you can make really good lifelong friends in the scene, and like you don't have to be good at the game, you don't have to be a certain rank, you don't have to play a certain weapon, you don't have to follow the quote-unquote meta, you just have to have a few friends and want to play the game. And I think that's the part that like SBA aims to make easier, is just being able to apply to the SBA and then being put on a team with a bunch of people who just want to play the game, who just want to try something new in a competitive environment. Because the hard part about like joining competitive Splatoon at the beginning is finding a team or making a team. But then the second that's taken away from you and you don't have to worry about all of the like annoying difficult bits, I think we've kind of seen, especially with Season 0, that you can just like, when new players don't have to worry about all the annoying bits, they just get on really well and they have a really good time in competitive. That's pretty much all I have to say, but thanks Viz for giving me the opportunity to speak on your channel about the Academy. The Academy was like by far one of the coolest things I've ever had the opportunity to do in competitive Splatoon, and I hope I'm able to continue doing it and that it's able to continue to go on for a long time. If anyone wants to find me anywhere after this, my Blue Sky will be in the description. It's at ismisharoa. But yeah, I'm gonna hand you back to Fisk. Thanks for having me.
Huge shoutouts to Roa for helping with the video. Go follow them on Blue Sky now, or I will personally delete your Season 1 SPA application. Okay, now all that is left to do is gather feedback and prepare for the 3 weeks is not enough time to create a tournament, make promotional trailers, make a badge, reach out to other orgs and content creators to see if they could repost a promotion, and build a whole goddamn stream setup, including creating the layout and graphics from scratch. This is the first event that Stronghold would ever stream, and time for production was running out. We actually pulled it off. I am very proud of all staff members who were involved with the production and made the 7. Special shoutouts go to Semino, who put in an absolutely incredible amount of work to organize all the tasks and do a good number of them himself. The stream itself started off a bit scuffed.
Yeah, we are experiencing, you may have noticed the fonts, we're experiencing some slight technical difficulties as the first run of anything might go. We are going to have to restart OBS to fix that, so the stream will go offline for about 30 seconds, but don't go anywhere because we will be right back, hopefully with fonts that actually work this time.
But overall, it went great. After the Swiss stage, everything went a lot smoother, making for a really great semi-final set.
It is now crunch time, so now maybe the time is ticking now for less than 3 to make a move here. The ball, though, is dropped, so now another player needs to pick it up. The Decapitator just trying to create space. The ball is actually another one is formed with that. The lead here late in the game, 10 seconds left. Ulta taking things into their own hands, managing to find one, and off of that pick, less than 3 are able to move in. That's Keely taken down by that Rainmaker pop, and now with 3 players down, it is almost a red carpet way as less than 3 are trying to move towards that goal.
Be careful. Like, they've got to be careful. They've already let themselves get pushed left. So
strike though onto Ulta will open things up as they will try to phase their way towards the tower. Not quite enough as 2 players will fall. Now 3 players Keely for Whale Shark Warriors. This is huge for the push. This is huge for the comeback.
Yeah, Pencil staying alive, doing their job. Doesn't actually. No! Decap got caught in the crossfire. But looks like, oh my goodness, sploosh on point. Yeah, okay, get close to the sploosh. Yeah, death trumpet. Oh my goodness.
And guess what? We are going to game 5 now.
You love to
and
see it.
I cannot be more excited. Whale Shark Warriors to be delayed here as we see this Decapitator try to create space. Unfortunately, will go down there. So now a little bit of staggering of the smallest dredge, just constant dredge pressure. And we saw they're shut down by the stamp.
Oh my goodness, yeah, both teams getting very aggressive towards one another here. Losing players at the same time, they've been chipped down by the pencil in the back, and big hitboxes are going to finish them off. And it looks like Whale Shark Warriors will take zone, but it's quickly getting painted over again. But now we see Zero going into the enemy backline with a hammer ready. Do they do anything with it? No! Nobody noticed they were just sticking in the corner. Hammer might come out here. No, Zero's looking to just point blank people. Again, good evasive, extremely good evasive, wasting time.
Less than 3 has plenty of penalty to worry about. They also have to worry about this Decapitator who is now in the back line of less than 3. This Dread Ringer just trying to use the Reef Slider, just trying to get that quick reset. However, it won't work. 2 players are Keely down for less than 3. Now it is do or die time. Ari is the last player standing now for less than 3. They need to make a move in now as the zone is all blue. 5 ticks left. 4, 3, 2, 1, and just like that, a very, very strong showing from Whale Shark Warriors, and they will be the first team to move on to Grand Finals.
Finals was a good watch too. Congratulations to the 5 Wishes for a really convincing set win and earning the title of Season 0 valedictorians.
We see here now 5 Wishes have been able to really dig in, able to take so much control in mid here. The time ticks down here in the waning seconds of it. 15 ticks left for Whale Shark Warriors to push in, and this needs to happen now. The Zuka is there, however, will just scare away the members of Whale Shark Warriors, and I believe just like that, 5 Wishes strike first.
Oh my goodness, such a clean maneuver. Wait, Zura's gonna get a few. Good jump swing, good delete, good throw. That, again, Zura is doing a lot of get in, get out, and it's working perfectly for them. Zura painting for the Rainmaker, and now they're gonna be in a good position to pop. Very aggressive, taking gets in, gets one, doesn't get, continuously giving this team the slit on this map, and it's very good. Oh, gets in close, 1 kill, 2, yes, very good defense.
Picks though are going in favor of 5 Wishes, as it's just left for the pencil to run for the hills. Is now an opportunity for 5 Wishes to get the lead here late in this game. The Kraken being caught by David as well. Will actually find Zura there, a very nice well done, almost finds the Decapitator as well, but won't be the case as Keely though, gosh, will finally stop that push a little bit. Keely picking off the Rainmaker, but might die to the bubble pop. There it is, and yet again, 5 Wishes have another chance at life. Going for the goal here, almost there, 1 tick away. 5 Wishes are just been on a roll here. Another very, very decisive victory. And
no, they eliminate both of their front lines and send them packing back to their spawn. Because now, here we go, there's a strong push, specials have all come out. And looks like they are going to attempt to score multiple balls here. But yeah, good jump on the return of from the original top point of the Kraken. Now it comes down to 60. Are there going to be more points scored? Yes, looks like there are. The wheel string goes in, gets some more. Good direct from David. Extremely sharp shooting and
keep these members at bay. But now, finally, Wilshire is actually trying to go in, but 4 is still here. 4 actually finds a quick 2-piece there, as now they are trying to find more. A 3K, really well done from 4, and now
they need to make a move, and they're making it now. They do get a frag with the splashdown from the hammer. Are they? Oh my goodness, 2 down. Bubble hit could be huge. No, two key parts of the push have gone down. That's not good. Zura is attempting to make a push on their own. They do open the basket, but is it going to be enough? Do they have the time? Do they have the players? Oh, it's down to 60. Another ball actually makes it close, but they need to be careful. A bomb went off. Nobody goes down for it. This is close. Oh no, there's not. Okay, it looks like the
Keely shut down. 5 seconds left. You need to make a move now. You see a quick pick onto 4 may open things up, but now overtime goes. 2 players are down to 5 pushes, so now you have the bubble quickly taken out though by that well string here. Hugo is trying to put the clamps on this entire tournament here, as now it is all 5 wishes. It is their game to lose here. They have all the specials. 3 players down for Whale Shark Warriors, and that will just about do it. The 5 wishes are your inaugural Grand Finals champions.
For the first event that Stronghold ever streamed, I think it was amazing, and I'm really proud of the storytelling that we were able to create with the interviews before each set. A bit before the tournament, we sent out a feedback form and asked the players what they liked and what changes they'd like to see for the next season. We gathered and talked about all of this in a big staff meeting, which was quite the experience. We got a lot done during that though, and even though it lasted until 2 AM for me, I would do it again. The main feedback from both players and staff was 1. That the program is a bit too short, which led us to raise the expected duration by a week, and 2. Relating to team building problems. I think there was a lot to learn for us in that aspect, and we changed the process of how we do it to give us more time overall. We also added a few more questions about availability and motivation to the application form, so we have a better basis for team building. We'll see how it goes this time around. We also added a few new ideas to increase connections between the teams. Another thing that's in development right now is to expand the program to guide and help coaches too. Interestingly, this happened as, out of complete coincidence, a lot of extremely passionate coaches got onboarded who saw the opportunity to use this meetup of coaches as a way to improve the scene's coaching as a whole. Funny how cool ideas can just randomly come up in a group of passionate people. If I do another video after Season 1, you will be able to hear more about that then. And that's everything there is to talk about so far. I'd like to finish this video up with a few personal thoughts. Working at Stronghold as the director of the Beginners Academy has been the most rewarding experience I've had in this community. This program has already been extremely impactful for getting new people into the scene, and going forward, I can only imagine its impact growing. I'm proud to have played a role in building this, and I could not have asked for a better staff team to work with. Thank you all so much, y'all are the goats. Even though I don't play the game competitively much these days, I feel fulfilled by working on this channel, my coaching and the SBA. I think, from a fundamental perspective, helping others is an important key to happiness. There's a Kurzgesagt video on that. Go watch it. Also, if you want to play a part in helping out the community and have captaining or coaching experience, apply to Stronghold Academy staff. We desperately need more people to grow the SBA. The ratio of the actual capacity of players we can manage to the number of applications has been low from the start, and I'd like it to at least stay on the same level. And if you're just a player interested in joining the community, applications for Season 1 are open for a few more days. I can't guarantee that you'll get on a team, but it can't hurt to try. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.